Hi, I'm Randy Gordon. I'm your senator in the 41st Legislative District. And this is my second video to speak with you about the issues of our state government and what we're doing down here in Olympia. Now, I mentioned to you last week my efforts and my optimism about the efforts that were going on here. This morning, I got up, as I always do, pretty early to beat the traffic, and I drove down from Bellevue down here to Olympia for an early morning meeting. And I want to tell you about that meeting because it's the kind of thing that I've been looking to do for years, and I'm finally here doing it on behalf of the 41st Legislative District. I have here a book. I'd like to show it to you because I had never seen this before until I came down to Olympia. It's one of the first things I requested. These are the tax exemptions, last printed in 2008, and this is a book, every page of which is money coming out of our tax base in favor of some kind of special interest. All of these tabs, which are color-coded, are different items that I have looked through that I'm examining for us to figure out which of these can be reclaimed and put back into the tax revenues that our government needs to do its job. Now, what kind of job am I talking about? I'm not sure if we can zoom in on this, but I'll ask our videographer to take a look at this. Right now, this is an example of state funds contributed to school nutrition service revenue. And if you take a look at this pie chart, you'll see this little green slice right here, about just over 2.25%. That is how much the state of Washington contributes to subsidize meals for kids who need to eat before they can learn. I think that is a reasonable investment in our future. But in order to fill even that small slice, we need to make sure that we close some of these tax exemptions. So that is what I was doing this morning, and I just finished up a few minutes ago, and we're going to have that meeting every Thursday morning, where a group of people in the caucus are going to sit down line by line and ask the questions that I think you'd want us to ask, which is, why is this exemption here? Who benefits? Does it serve the people? Now, there are some exemptions that have been put in place from 1982 that are still on the books, trying to go and incentivize, for example, international banking companies to come here to the state of Washington to do business. Well, I'm here to tell you, if it hasn't worked since 1982, I don't think the exemption is going to work. If it has worked, I think it's done its job, and it's time for it to be sunsetted and that money to go back into the general fund where it can support programs such as that school nutrition program, which I used as an example. There are other things that I'm doing while I'm down here, and I think that you'd be encouraged by the kinds of actions that I'm taking on our behalves down here. I have just put forward two bills as the prime sponsor that I think will help our people generally. And they really are two ends of the spectrum. One of them is a bill that is going to go and give a break to those people who have lost work, who are looking for work, who are currently on unemployment, and whose homes are up for foreclosure. In that bill, it says to the bank, give this guy a break. If you're legitimately looking for work and if you're on unemployment, it will push back the time of foreclosure for 1 year to give you a chance to get back on your feet. And this is an advantage not only for that individual. I think it's an advantage for the banks. I think it's an advantage for our communities. It does us no good to have homes in foreclosure. The man's lost his job, the woman's lost her job as a result of a downturn in the economy through no fault of their own. Taking their home away and putting their kids out is not going to go and help anyone. Having an empty, unoccupied home on our blocks, which is going to be an attraction for all sorts of misuse and squatters and drug houses and so forth, having that on our blocks does us no good. What we need to do is keep people in their homes. When the economy picks up, then people can go back and do what they've been doing for the last 5 or 10 years, paying their mortgage as they want to do. I'm just picking this as one example. Now, let me just say, the banks don't really want these houses yet either. Why would they want a house that they can't sell or that they're going to sell at such a low level it'll drive down market prices in our communities? We don't need that. I think we need time, and I think giving a person who is having that kind of financial setback, who in good faith has for 5 or 10 years paid their mortgage, I don't think we need to go and add to the unemployment the indignity of being homeless. That's one of the bills I put forward, and it's going to be up for hearing. It was up for hearing yesterday, and it got bumped, and we're going to go and try to get that heard as soon as possible. There's another bill I put forward that I think you're going to appreciate. It's a tax. It's a B&O surcharge on banks. On what? On ATM excess fees. Now, many of us have seen this situation where these ATM fees, they started out at 25 cents or 50 cents, $1, $1 a quarter, $1.50, and I've seen them as high as $4. This tax, which will contribute money to the general fund, is designed to place a graduated tax. For any ATM fee above $1.50, it'll be a 5% surcharge. It won't be passed through to the consumer. It'll be a direct tax on revenues that the bank pockets based on what you pay trying to get at your own money in your own bank account. Above $1.50 to $2, 5%, $2 to $2.50, 7.5%, and above $2.50, and I must say enough is enough, above $2.50, 10%. And that money goes back to the people, away from the banks that I think are taking advantage of people in airports and in other places where they need to have ready cash. Now, these are some of the ideas I'm doing. I want to hear from you. I want you to go and please look up my website. And as a matter of fact, my website, I'd like to go and have it on the bottom of the screen here so that people can see it. Can we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's have it on the bottom of the screen here so people can contact me with their ideas on how we can save money in the state and who we can go and get money from in an equitable and fair manner that will serve the people of Washington. Now, look, I came down here with no preconceived notions, with just a desire to do service, a desire to go and work for you, and I'm doing that. I'm working as hard as I can, and I think I'm asking the questions that you want me to ask. You want me to ask questions about these tax loopholes. You want me to ask these questions about these tax exemptions. You want me to go and make sure that people aren't going and gouging the people. And you want me to go and cut slack to those of our citizens in need, from the child who needs the nutrition and the warm meal to the working family that's just down on their luck through no fault of their own and shouldn't lose their house. That's the kind of senator I am. That's the kind of senator I want to be. I need your help. I'd appreciate your input and your supports. Thank you very much. I'm Randy Gordon. I'm your senator. Please call me. I look forward to hearing from you.